In the eastern part of Ukraine, in a small town near the front line, life went on as usual. Trees were still green, and the market bustled with activity. But war was close, and the contrast between peaceful life and impending catastrophe weighed heavily on many. Anna, a young woman who had once taught mathematics, was now a volunteer, constantly in contact with medics and soldiers. Her apartment was without power, and on the door, a note read, "Do not disturb, we're at the front." She helped deliver medicines and supplies to soldiers. Her husband, Maxim, was also on the front lines, a volunteer who was one of the first to go protect their city. In this atmosphere, where danger could be lurking at every turn, life became a trial. At night, the town was plunged into darkness, and during the day, explosions could be heard in the distance. And it was at this time that Anna received a message that would change everything. "You are not alone. We will find you." It was a message from her husband, who had become trapped during a battle. Anna decided to go after him, without hesitation. From morning until night, she, along with other volunteers, delivered aid, and in the evenings, she gathered the last bits of information about areas where Ukrainian units might be trapped. One night, just as it was getting dark, she received a mysterious message from a stranger. He asked if she was ready to take a risk. "I know where your husband is. He's alive. If you want to save him, come to the old factory on the west side of the city." Anna didn't hesitate. She grabbed her old backpack, packed a few cans of stew, tea, and warm socks, then left her home. Her heart raced in anticipation, not knowing what awaited her when she arrived there. The road to the factory was dangerous. Explosions were getting closer, and every street was surrounded by soldiers. She barely heard her car crunching over debris and broken concrete scattered by the constant shelling. But this was only the beginning. At the factory, Anna met Alexei, a mysterious man who turned out to be a former Special Forces officer. He led her through the maze of corridors and dark rooms to the basement, where wounded soldiers and prisoners were hiding. Among them, Anna found Maxim. His face was covered with cuts, but he was alive. Seeing her, he barely managed to smile. "You're here again," he said weakly, pulling her hand. "Did you think I would leave you?" Anna replied, giving him a sip of water. But the moment of peace, though brief, didn't last long. Just as they were beginning to believe they could make it out, the first explosions rang out. Loudspeakers blared with commands to surrender. It was a trap. The enemy had already surrounded the factory. "We're in the eye of the storm. There's only one choice left," Alexei said, looking at them seriously. "We have to break through the underground tunnels." The tunnels they had to use were narrow and dark. Things got worse when suddenly one of the passages collapsed, trapping Maxim under the debris. Anna, with incredible speed, started pulling him out from under the rubble. "Don't leave me," he gasped, barely holding on. With every minute, her arms grew weaker and her heart heavier. But she couldn't leave him there. Maxim was everything to her. She knew that if not now, then never. With all her strength, she pulled him free, and they continued moving through the dark corridors. The explosions grew louder, but they kept pushing forward, never looking back. They finally managed to reach a shelter where the rest of the soldiers were waiting, but their mission wasn't over yet. When they emerged to the surface, they felt the coolness of the night air, though it didn't relieve the weight of what they had just survived. Every breath was a reminder of how fragile their lives were, how quickly everything could change. But they had made it through, and now, they needed to move further, beyond the front lines. Despite the danger still lurking in every corner, Anna and Maxim knew one thing: they had made it. They were alive. They would survive. And though the war raged on, they would continue to fight for each other, for their loved ones, and for the future they could still build. Their journey wasn't over. But they had each other, and that was enough for now.